Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. The 13th G20 summit begins in Buenos Aires, Argentina today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the first session of the summit. A Delhi court holds ex-Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta guilty of corruption and criminal conspiracy in a coal scam case. Kerala Assembly proceedings disrupted for the third consecutive day. Opposition demands discussion on Sabrimala issue. Health Ministry approves a formula for determination of compensation for faulty hip implants. UK government approves an amendment to Weapons Bill, allows Sikhs to possess and supply kirpans. The 13th G20 summit begins in Buenos Aires, Argentina today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet the leaders of BRICS countries on the sidelines of the G20 summit. Prime Minister Modi will address the first session of the G20 summit later in the day. Prime Minister will meet the Chinese President Xi Jinping and the President of Chile, Sebastián Piñera, for bilateral talks today. The theme of the summit is Building Consensus for a Fair and Sustainable Development. Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale said the Prime Minister will make a lead intervention in the first session of the summit based on the theme Putting People First. His speech will stress upon the risks posed by oil price volatility, flagship programs including Skill India, Mudra Yojana, Digital India and GST among others. Earlier, Mr. Modi said that India will highlight the need for reformed multilateralism, which reflects the contemporary realities during the G20 summit. The Prime Minister had a meeting with the UN General Secretary Antonio Guterres yesterday to discuss India's role in addressing climate change globally, with specific reference to the forthcoming COP24 meeting in Katowice, Poland. Foreign Secretary Mr. Gokhale said the Secretary General acknowledged that India plays a major role in climate change negotiations.
The Secretary General specifically acknowledged that India plays a very major role in climate change negotiations, and it was his sincere hope and expectation that in the forthcoming meeting next week in Poland, India will play a uniting role. It will bring together the various groups of developed countries and developing countries to come up with certain solutions which would eventually feed into the climate change summit that the UN Secretary General is planning in 2019.
Our correspondent covering the Prime Minister's visit has filed this report.
World leaders have gathered at Buenos Aires, an ancient city with impeccable roads and a comfortable weather. People holding colorful flags of different nations stand on the side of the roads to welcome their leaders. As security has been tightened to the maximum, it looks like there is a holiday in the southernmost part of the globe. Serious topics which have emerged during the year-long deliberations will set the ball rolling for the summit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first speech will ring in all the successful schemes implemented by his government in India. He will also share his concern on the issues faced by emerging economies which needs to be addressed immediately at a global level. With Manaspratim Sharma, Joy, reporting from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Russia has termed US President Donald Trump's decision to cancel talks with President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit as regrettable. Addressing the reporters in Kremlin, Dmitry Peskov, spokesman for the Russian president, said that the discussion of important issues on the international and bilateral agenda will be postponed indefinitely due to the decision. President Trump had cancelled the meeting over Moscow's seizure of 3 Ukrainian ships and continued detention of a group of Ukrainian sailors. A Delhi court today held ex-Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta guilty of corruption and criminal conspiracy in a coal scam case related to allotment of coal blocks in West Bengal. Besides Gupta, Special CBI Judge Bharat Parashar also convicted private firm Vikash Metals and Power Limited, former Joint Secretary in Ministry of Coal, MOC, and the then Director in MOC in the case. The court also convicted the firm's managing director Vikash Patni and its authorized signatory Anand Malik in the case. The case pertains to alleged irregularities in allocation of Moira and Madhujore North and South coal blocks in West Bengal to VMPL. In September 2012, the CBI had registered an FIR in the case. All the 5 convicted persons were taken into custody. Court has fixed December 3rd for arguments on the quantum of punishment. In Kerala, the Congress-led opposition UDF disrupted proceedings in the State Assembly for the third consecutive day today, demanding discussion on the Sabrimala temple issue, leading to an early adjournment of proceedings. As soon as the question hour began, UDF MLAs rushed to the Speaker's podium, raising slogans demanding withdrawal of Section 144 prohibitory orders in Sabrimala temple complex and protection of faith of the pilgrims. As the members continued their sloganeering, the Speaker ended the proceedings and adjourned the House for the day. With a week left for polling in Rajasthan and Telangana, electioneering is at its peak. Top leaders of different political parties are holding public meetings at different places in Rajasthan. BJP President Amit Shah is holding 3 public rallies and 1 roadshow today. Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje and BJP State President Madan Lal Saini are also addressing many rallies across the state. From Congress, former Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is attending public meetings in Dausa, Bharatpur and Jaipur, while State Congress President Sachin Pilot is addressing election rallies at various other places. More from our correspondent.
BJP is making to know the people about its last 5 years' performance and popular welfare schemes. It is also talking about the center's welfare schemes and appealing the people to give one more chance to make the development process sustained. While Congress is claiming overall failure of state government and promising to provide good governance, other parties like Bharat Vahini Party and Rashtriya Loktantrik Party are focusing mainly on farmers and youth affairs. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Telangana, the leaders of all major political parties are seeking votes for their party candidates. Addressing an election rally at Sirpur, senior BJP leader and Home Minister Rajnath Singh alleged that the TRS government did not pay any attention to development. He said 4,500 farmers committed suicide as the TRS government did not do anything for the farming community. Mr. Singh added that the BJP alone can implement development programs and ensure the fruits of the same to people. He explained how the centre has taken initiatives for not leaving any family homeless in the country by 2022. TRS President K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who addressed a rally at Kagajnagar, alleged that the centre has opposed the Telangana proposal for providing 12% reservation to minorities. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Health Secretary Preeti Sudan has described the compensation package for patients who had received faulty articular surface replacement ASR hip implants manufactured by MS Depew International Limited UK as historic. The company was known as Johnson & Johnson Private Limited prior to August 2010. Talking to AIR News, Ms. Sudan said the government has taken the bold step for the first time. She said it will be the highest compensation ever offered to any living being in the country. Giving details about the package to the patients, Mrs. Sudan said the compensation varies between 30 lakh rupees to 1 crore 22 lakh rupees.
This is just a small step from the government side to provide some solace. And the compensation package ranges from 30 lakhs to 1.22 crore. Now, our endeavor is that this compensation is received by the patient in a time-bound manner without much hassle, and also that it is received directly in his bank account through DBT.
Centre had yesterday approved a formula for determination of compensation. An expert committee was constituted by the Union Health Ministry. The committee, after detailed examination of the issue, submitted its report along with its final recommendation. The compensation will be dispersed considering 3 factors, which includes base amount, which has been decided as 20 lakh rupees, risk factor disability, and age factor along with 10 lakh rupees for non-pecuniary damages. The amount will be paid in a time-bound manner through bank accounts of affected persons by Johnson & Johnson Private Limited. All the state governments have also been requested by the ministry to form state-level committees to examine the affected patients within the respective states and to make the process less arduous for the patients. Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul today said India must now move towards expanding healthcare as there has been significant progress in health system in the country. Addressing development dialogues on health system organized by Niti Aayog in New Delhi, Dr. Paul said the country must strive for universal health coverage. He said Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is a path-breaking initiative of the government to achieve universal health coverage. He said India's journey towards an inclusive health system must embrace indigenous Ayush systems of primary health care. On the occasion, Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant said digital health has the potential to transform how healthcare is delivered and how it is paid for. He said there is a need to place the patient at the center of healthcare experience, which will bring a paradigm shift in the organization and provision of care. Mr. Kant said the health sector of the country is intrinsic to its wealth. For India to grow at higher rates, there is a need for a world-class health system at low cost, which will help in building a healthy young India. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will visit United Arab Emirates from Monday to co-chair the 12th session of the India-UAE Joint Commission meeting for economic and technical cooperation. Mr. Swaraj will hold talks with Foreign Minister of the UAE, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. External Affairs Ministry in a release said, India and the UAE enjoy strong bonds of friendship which are founded on millennia-old cultural, religious and economic interaction between the two regions. The relationship has been elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership. With nearly $50 billion bilateral trade, the two countries are one of the largest trade partners for each other and have made robust investments bilaterally. The UAE is the sixth largest source of India's oil imports and hosts a 3.3 million strong Indian community. The Sri Lankan Parliament passed a motion today to suspend expenditure by ministers of new government of Mahila Rajapaksa. The motion in Parliament was passed by 122 MPs of United National Front, UNF, Tamil National Alliance, TNA, and another political party voting for it. MPs supporting new Prime Minister Rajapaksa continued to boycott the session. The motion noted that secretaries to all ministries have no authority to approve any payment from the funds of the Republic for ministers, state ministers, deputy ministers and their personal staff. President Maithripala Sirisena is scheduled to meet leaders of UNF and TNA later today to discuss a possible solution to the ongoing political crisis. The meeting assumes significance as it comes after 14 TNA MPs decided to support UNF leader and demanded restoration of government as it existed prior to 26th of October. The UK government has confirmed an amendment to a new weapons bill going through the Parliament to ensure that it would not impact the right of the British Sikh community to possess and supply kirpans or religious swords. The Offensive Weapons Bill 2018 completed its various readings in the House of Commons this week and has now moved to the House of Lords for approval. The bill involves a new offence of possessing certain offensive weapons in public. It places new restrictions on the online sales of bladed articles and corrosive products. The All-Party Parliamentary Group for British Sikhs led a delegation to the UK Home Office in recent weeks to ensure that the kirpan remains exempt when the new bill becomes a law. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. The 13th G20 summit begins in Buenos Aires, Argentina today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the first session of the summit. A Delhi court holds ex-Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta guilty of corruption and criminal conspiracy in a coal scam case. Kerala Assembly proceedings disrupted for the third consecutive day. Opposition demands discussion on Sabrimala issue. Health Ministry approves a formula for determination of compensation for faulty hip implants. UK government approves an amendment to Weapons Bill, allows Sikhs to possess and supply kirpans. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the Midday News.